Welcome to News Today with WW News Today. I'm Tom Kroos. Here now the news for January 20th, 2020. A 35-year-old Missouri man was stopped at Magic Kingdom bag check on December 28th after it was discovered there was a weapon in his bag. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the man and his wife told security at bag check that they had an unloaded pistol in their bag. The gun, a black Ruger LCP 380, was in a carrying bag inside a purse and secured in a backpack. The man stated that they forgot that the gun, which the man bought for his wife for protection, was inside the purse, as they had numerous bags with their 18-person party visiting Walt Disney World. According to the couple, they both have concealed weapons permits in Missouri, though this was not verified by the Orange County Sheriff. There were no arrests and the couple was not banned from the park. Instead, the sheriff's office kept the weapon. Quote, they felt it was a mistake on the part of the guests and were satisfied with taking the weapon for safekeeping, according to the report. Now rolled out at the Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, the final set of guest experience teams are coming to Epcot later this month. Teams will be located in Future World West and Future World East and work as a mobile guest relations options for guests in need of assistance with directions, FastPass Plus, advanced dining reservations, and more. Guests seeking assistance within the World Showcase can head to the new guest relations office inside the building that houses the new ticketing windows next to the Disney Skyliner station at International Gateway. Gateway Gifts at Epcot closed for a brief refurbishment earlier this week in order to even out the design elements and interior of the two stores flanking Spaceship Earth. Sleek new illuminated registers have replaced the smaller, clunkier old ones. The carpet has been replaced with sleek, futuristic floors. The assortment of merchandise remains about the same, with the store carrying a variety of the latest must-have items like Spirit jerseys and mouse ears. The monorail art from the old store has also survived, taking back its rightful place behind the right-hand registers. You can check out a full video tour of the newly redesigned Gateway Gifts right here on YouTube or at WDWNT.com. Gift Stop, the small store located outside of Epcot on the right side towards the buses, has closed. At this time, there's no word on if this is part of a refurbishment or if the store is gone for good. The adjacent guest relations, of course, is still open. Gift Stop was formerly the location for package pickup at the front entrance of the park, but now you'll need to pick up your packages before exiting at the newly reopened Gateway Gifts. The Epcot International Festival of the Arts 2020 started on Friday, and 3 new films debuted throughout the park as part of it. In France, the Beauty and the Beast sing-along will play from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., with Impressions de France playing from 7:30 to 9 p.m. This new retelling of the classic tale is meant to have a saucy twist to it, as it turns out LeFou actually intended for Belle and Beast to meet by sending Maurice off into the forest and ultimately to the castle, having Belle follow him there as well. From there, he helped them fall in love by making magic behind the scenes, including playing the violin during the iconic ballroom scene. The sing-along is a runtime of 15 minutes, and while you wait, there's a new Tale as Old as Time French storytelling on stage and screen exhibit inside the cinema. Meanwhile, over at the Land Pavilion, Awesome Planet is now glowing with the blue-green hues of our home planet Earth. The theater has received a bit of a refresh, although nothing major. Hosted by Ty Burrell of ABC's Modern Family, Awesome Planet in the Land explores the spectacular beauty, diversity, and dynamic story of Earth. Featuring original musical score from Academy Award-winning composer Stephen Price, and in collaboration with the Disney Conservation Fund, the 10-minute film uses in-theater effects, including wind, scents, and water, to tell the story of life on this planet and why it's vitally important for us to care for it. Over in Canada, we're celebrating the return of the pavilion's iconic film, albeit slightly updated. The new Canada Far and Wide in Circle Vision 360 is an update to the previous O Canada film, with some new scenes, a new musical score by Canadian composer Andrew Lockington, and new narration by award-winning actors Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. You can watch videos of all 3 of these new films at WDWNT.com. I'd be interested to hear your opinions, because I didn't like any of them. Actually, it's not completely true. The remastered Impressions de France looks beautiful, and that's not even one of my favorite classic Epcot attractions, but it looked really, really fantastic in 4K. Beautifully done. The other 3, they're okay. They're not great. We'll talk about them at length on News Tonight this week. I have lots of opinions, but go form your own and watch our videos right here on YouTube or at WDWNT.com. Disney Skyliner popcorn buckets are now available at Epcot, and they've arrived just in time for National Popcorn Day. The popcorn buckets and replicas of the are replicas of the red Disney Skyliner gondola. The first side features Mickey and Minnie enjoying the views. The bucket opens from the top, giving you plenty of room for popcorn, which is a rarity in American popcorn buckets, believe it or not. There's a nice Disney Skyliner strap you can use to carry the bucket, which says inaugural year on it. It also detaches so you can use it for your non-popcorn needs, whatever those might be. You can grab the new popcorn bucket at Fife and Drum Tavern in the American Adventure Pavilion for $17. The other sides have Chip and Dale and Pluto on them. It's pretty cool. The latest edition of the Disney Parks Designer Collection ear, headband, and hat line was released at the festival on Friday. The hat by Disney artist Dave Perillo features embroidered Mickey designs, glossy ears, and even plays music. You can find the ears inside Dave Perillo's festival booth, where you also find prints of his new Kitchen Cabaret and Country Bear Jamboree pieces. I actually picked up the Kitchen Cabaret. I was lucky enough to get number 1. Pretty cool. The ear hat comes packaged inside of the velvet-lined Disney Parks Designer Collection box. If you look closely, a very musically inclined Mickey is seen playing a number of instruments simultaneously. One ear has Mickey, while the other has Mouse in it, in contrasting colors that really pop against the black backdrop. A first in the Disney Parks Designer Collection series, these ears actually play music. To operate, you just slide the switch on the ear to the left and turn the music on, and turn to the right to turn the music off. The ears retail for $58 and available wherever premium Mickey ears are sold. Whether you're here for the artwork or the eats, you've got to take home some commemorative merchandise from the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. This year's collection caters to Figment fans, filled with colorful odes to the royal purple pigment himself. Merchandise includes a Spirit jersey, Minnie ear headband, drinkware, pins, and more. You can check out the full collection at WDWNT.com. Remember, merchandise is only available while supplies last, and the festival only runs through February 24th. Nothing says fancy art festival food like lobster, sure, which is exactly what you'll find at the refreshment port for the 2020 Epcot International Festival of the Arts. At this year-round kiosk that typically sells our favorite cheese soup from Le Cellier and poutine and ice cream, you'll also find specialty beer, cider, and lobster chips for the festival's run. Refreshment Outpost, a year-round kiosk in Epcot, usually features hot dogs, ice cream, and cold beverages, but instead has added a plant-based bratwurst, churros, and an assortment of beers. If you're looking for something to satisfy your sweet tooth, look no further than the Decadent Delights booth. Not only are the treats sweet, but they also come in totally Instagram-worthy fashion. Fife and Drum is offering a musical float with layers of strawberry, lemonade, and blue raspberry slushy mixed with vanilla and white chocolate ice cream. The funnel cake kiosk added a specialty item, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich funnel cake. The new Japanese-themed booth, Goshiki, takes the place of Takumi Table, which is now the name of a restaurant in the pavilion. With a new food studio, that means all new menu, including a sushi donut, taiyaki, and a vegetable gyoza. L'Art de Manger, back for its 3rd year, debuted an all-new menu. That's, of course, the Italy booth, but as always, you can expect nothing good from there. It's real bad. There's also Delectable Delights and one Rotten Tomato to be found at L'Art de la Cuisine Franchise. El Artista Hambrento, I'm going to butcher all these, has been a staple of Epcot's International Festival of the Arts since the first one. This year they're back with an entirely new menu as well. And one of our favorite food studios from previous years, the Painted Panda, is back with brand new food and a cocktail. Check out reviews of all of the new and old menu items available this year at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts at WDWNT.com. You can also acquire our free PDF guide to the festival. Fantasmic, the popular nighttime show at Hollywood Studios, will not have any showings on January 22nd. No specific reason was given, but again, there are no showings on the 22nd. We don't know if this is connected to that construction happening backstage near the show, but the show will return on January 23rd. With just a few weeks left until the grand opening of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios, Walt Disney World President Josh D'Amaro took to social media to show us the latest progress on the attraction. In the photo, we see all of the weathered railings in place for loading guests into Goofy's train. Much like the great movie ride that preceded it, there are a number of pre-show experiences before the guests load into this train. Of course, after wandering through the initial exterior and interior queue, things start to change where the large pre-show theater showing classic movie trailers once stood. That'll now be a place where guests are loaded into one of 2 identical pre-show movie theaters where they will see a cartoon before walking through the movie screen and into a cartoon. The entire train barn space is covered in cartoony printed wood with beams and pipes jutting out from the ceiling. Artwork on the walls displays a zany-looking engineer Goofy, who's no less than the Employee of the Month at the Runamuck Railroad. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opens March 4th, 2020 at Disney's Hollywood Studios and in 2022 at Disneyland Park. Merchandise like the Runamuck Railroad toy ride vehicle and toy train whistle have already been spotted at Walt Disney World. Disney's ongoing cartoon poster series celebrating the March 4th debut of the Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios continues with new art inspired by the zany Split Decision short. The latest poster features two very different Donalds. In the video short, Mickey takes Donald to Professor Von Drake's lab to cure his temper, but something strange and unexpected happens. Before experiencing Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, you'll see posters of all the existing award-winning shorts that might have previously premiered at the Chinese Theater in Story, all created specifically for the attraction by Walt Disney Imagineering and Disney Television Animation. In the meantime, be sure to check out the Split Decision short for a look inside the amazing cartoon universe you'll experience in the attraction. Tickets for Disney H2O Glow Nights, a specially ticketed event offered select evenings from May 27 through August 29, 2020 at Typhoon Lagoon, are available now. With your event ticket, you can enter Typhoon Lagoon Water Park at 6 p.m., 2 hours before the party starts, so you can start experiencing the park even sooner. Then from 8 p.m. to 10, after the park closes to the general public, get ready to glow wild at H2O Glow Nights, where you'll have access to all available attractions, plus a DJ dance party on the sandy beaches of the surf pool, Toy Story-themed activities and character greetings, and limited-time event-themed food and beverage specialties. You can read our review of the event from last year at WDWNT.com. Friday marked the epic grand opening of Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland, and as with any attraction opening, fans showed up as early as midnight to be among the first to experience it. However, in the day and age of the boarding group, opening day procedures have come as a shock to many guests who are new to the access system. Guests lined up outside of Disneyland gates at midnight the night before, and during rain and inclement weather while waiting outside were not necessarily the first to experience the attraction. But at 5:46 a.m., the first guests were scanned in. However, they were made to wait in the holding areas throughout the park until 8 a.m. for boarding group distribution. When 8 a.m. came around, issues with the Disneyland app led many users to get kicked out of the app when they attempted to secure a boarding group. By the time they reopened the app, most of the boarding groups were gone. In fact, boarding groups were gone in a record 45 seconds, with backup boarding groups going into effect at the 45-second mark and running out 11 minutes later. Guests with backup boarding groups are not guaranteed boarding and are only accommodated once the main boarding groups have ridden. They did not get to ride, by the way. It's also worth noting that unlike Rise of the Resistance at Hollywood Studios, Disneyland guests have only a 1-hour window to return after their boarding group has been called. With many people unable to obtain a boarding group or simply frustrated at the long wait due to the numerous attraction breakdowns, guests were taken to forging boarding groups for themselves or their party. A screenshot of a valid boarding group return time, complete with barcode, was seen circulating amongst guests inside Disneyland, with some guests going as far as to copy the font used on the screen to fill in the boarding group numbers and exact return times. The premise behind these forged boarding groups is that Disneyland was not consistently scanning people's boarding group tickets as they entered the attraction, leading to more virtual line cutting from guests. While this behavior is unbecoming of guests, it's also unwise for the park to engage in such lax rule enforcement on the day of an attraction opening. With any luck, we'll see better established practices from both cast members and guests in the coming days as the attraction opening procedures normalize for this attraction. Rise of the Resistance, of course, experienced repeated breakdowns that are stalling the boarding process throughout the opening weekend and days. Yesterday at 1:40 p.m. Pacific Time, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland had only reached boarding groups 28 and 29. The ride experienced issues since 11 a.m. Pacific that morning. The attraction was then down until 1:40 p.m. Originally, cast members told our reporters the attraction may not reopen that day, but it did. Like at Hollywood Studios, the boarding group process is a virtual queue system. When the park officially opens, guests who have scanned into the park can start attempting to get a boarding group. 82 boarding groups are now guaranteed to experience the ride, at least that day. And after that, backup boarding groups would go into effect, and those guests, of course, not guaranteed to ride at all. Guest relations lines were busy with concerned guests, but Disney has not announced a resolution if guaranteed boarding groups are not accommodated out there on the West Coast. Of course, here in Florida, if guests with a guaranteed group were not reached in a given day, they were given one-day park hopper tickets and Rise of the Resistance fast passes that they could use the next day. Disneyland has released the new Kylo Ren TIE Interceptor popcorn bucket. During the war, Ren used his TIE to confront Rey on the desert world of Pasana. You may remember this scene from The Rise of Skywalker, where Rey jumped over his ship and sliced one of its wings, causing it to crash. Ren flew another TIE of the same model to Kef Bir, where he again confronted Rey in a lightsaber duel. Rey eventually defeated him, took the TIE fighter, and flew it to Octo, where she angrily burned it. And now it's making a comeback with fries. That's right, the bucket could easily double as an accurate plastic model toy of the ship, except the main pod actually opens up to hold your selected snack, which could be popcorn or fries, apparently. Kylo Ren tie interceptor bucket comes with your choice of fries or a slush for $19.49 or a soft drink for $18.49 plus tax. You can find it at the Galactic Grill. Unlike most buckets, this does not come with a strap. You're left lugging around a TIE fighter all day, but in fairness, it's pretty cool. Now that Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is open at Disneyland, there's some new inspired treats in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. From spicy green milk to garlic cheese chips, we tried all the new offerings. Blue and green milk are still as divisive as ever, but the green milk Toydaria swirl was interesting. Galma garlic puff cheese chips had a similar texture to a cheese puff. The flavor was very distinct. Visually, the Black Spire hot chocolate may be confusing. Don't let it sway your decision. The purple whipped cream with a silver glimmer sits on top of a creamy hot chocolate. If you want to know what we thought of all of these new food options, you can read our reviews at wdwnt.com. It's finally time for us to celebrate Lunar New Year at Disney California Adventure from January 17th to February 9th. You can't have a proper celebration without food. Of course, there's plenty to go and try this year, like the Longevity Noodle Company. Featuring 2 dishes, a dessert, and 2 beverages, we're excited to dig into some noodles. While strolling through Pixar Pier, we found a specialty pork belly egg roll at Lamplight Lounge, created for the festival. Described as having tender pork, a spicy mango glaze, pickled carrots, lettuce, cucumber, and pork rinds, this egg roll sounds like a perfect addition. The Lucky Fortune Cookery created a special bao bun for the event as well. You'll want to check out. Poised for a pretty big New Year herself, Mulan welcomes some pretty big special guests to celebrate the Year of the Rat, or Mouse, whatever you prefer, in Mulan's Lunar New Year procession at California Adventure. Mulan, joined by her faithful dragon pal Mushu, leads a procession and dedicated it to family and friendship. Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Chip, and Dale all join in festive outfits. Goofy even comes dressed as the god of good fortune. The celebration continues and features traditional dancers, a dragon puppet, and Lunar New Year greetings set to the tune of Bring Honor to Us All from the 1998 film. In case you can't make it to Anaheim, we've got a couple of videos of the procession up at wdwnt.com as well. Reviews of all of the specialty food from the event are there as well. All new Christmas and daytime parades have been announced for Disneyland Paris. The Christmas parade is set to debut this year, with the new daytime parade coming in 2022 for the Disneyland Paris 30th anniversary. The new Christmas parade, including the costumes, will have nighttime capabilities. So it seems the parade will be set to run as usual throughout the day, with an additional performance in the evening showcasing some nighttime magic. The all-new day parade will debut for the 30th anniversary of the park and is set to stay in the park for 5 years. It will also replace the Disney Stars on Parade. The Minnie Mouse, the main attraction collection, premiered on Saturday, celebrating the 45th anniversary of Space Mountain with a themed plush, Loungefly backpack, mug, magic band, and pin set. On Shop Disney, Disney has released a mini pin collector book with a logo starter pin. The pin collector book will feature slots for each month's pin set of the month so that you can keep them all in one place. If you buy the pin collector book, you'll also receive the Minnie Mouse, the main attraction logo pin as a bonus. Shop Disney UK offered us a sneak peek of the merchandise being released in February and March as part of the Minnie Mouse collection. In February, each item has a dark and spooky color tone consistent with Pirates of the Caribbean. And the extravagant ear headband features a pirate ship placed between 2 ears, which feature a skull and a ship wheel. There's a mug featuring a gold and black color scheme and a pirate ship placed in the middle of Minnie's bow. The Loungefly fanny pack offers a unique bow and ear design that looks like the ear headband and offers the same design on the ears. Minnie Mouse gets a plush that looks ominous with the gold, white, and black colors combined with a spooky bow and torso design. The 3 pins feature spooky Minnie-inspired designs as well. In March, the collection is inspired by Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Tea Party, perhaps, featuring a mini ear headband that's topped with a fancy hat, plus a teacup in the middle of the large satin pink bow. The ears themselves feature classic Mad Tea Party teacup print in purple. The same patterns are seen in the mug, Loungefly backpack, and even Minnie's dress. 3 pins include a teacup, Minnie holding up a teacup, and a small-scale image of the Minnie ears in the collection. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to wdwnt.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.